You know, I originally only planned on finding Val Kilmer. We did an unboxing about a week, 2 weeks ago, and it's the first time I ever took out a McFarlane Multiverse. And I was so blown away. Halfway through the review, doing the video, I had decided we're going to find the Riddler, we're going to find Two-Face, we're going to find Robin, and we're going to form that Nightmare Bat. Here's a review on the remaining three characters, kind of the story on how I found them all, and then, yeah, we're going to put him together. Now, the Riddler was my second character I found. He is most of the bat. You do get the entire body, some hands, of course, the bombs that blew up the Batcave and the Batmobile in Batman Forever, kind of a spoiler alert from 29 years ago. We're going to open up the Riddler second because he was the second guy that I came across. Just slide Jim Carrey, and I may go back and forth. I may say Jim Carrey, I may say the Riddler, heck, I may say Ace Ventura Pet Detective. You do get that card for every character and a stand, which is going to be very helpful if you wanna set these up. You know, a lot of people wanna keep them in the packaging. I totally understand that, but for me, it's all about the collectible, and yeah, every character. Just hold on to those cards. Heck, they might be worth something someday. And a quick intro on each card here as we open up every character. The Riddler, data file, real name Edward Nigma. Batman faces off against two foes. The schizophrenic, horribly scarred former district attorney Harvey Dent, aka Two-Face, and the Riddler, a disgruntled ex-Wayne Enterprises inventor seeking revenge against his former employer. A couple extra hands with the Riddler. You got an open hand and a fist, because the Riddler, he wants to punch. One of the classic bat bombs with the question mark that when they found out Bruce Wayne was Batman, they knew where the Batcave was, and yeah, they were dropping bombs. We'll form the bat at the end, but just to kind of point everything out, where the Waynes go, where he does sit on the stand, and the little feet. Look at the little bat feet. This is the majority of the Nightmare Bat, but I mean, I gotta tell you, the Bat Waynes with both Two-Face and Robin, really big. So I mean, this is gonna be a really cool display, and it had a lot to do with, the selling point on finding the other three characters. Okay, here he is. Man, Jim Carrey. I never thought that I would have a Jim Carrey action figure. And just look at all the bendable parts by the waist. The cane. I just watched Batman Forever on the 85th anniversary of Batman in the big screen, and I have not seen that movie. I mean, I couldn't tell you the last time I saw it, but I did see it in the theaters in '95, so 29 years later, I'm going to another screening of Batman Forever, and just watching Jim Carrey just working this cane the entire time. He did an incredible job, very enjoyable to watch. Perfect Riddler. For the time, a lot of 90s vibes, very strong 90s presence. He nailed it. You can see everything, the feet bend, his wrists, and this cane does bend a little bit. The head, man, every angle. It's totally Jim Carrey, totally Ace Ventura. Even his toes bend up. And this was, going through Val Kilmer, 2 weeks ago, with just everything, every feature. And you can take the cane out of his hand, and you can see the wrists will bend. You can move them around. I said, why not find the remaining three and just get the whole collection? I'm like completely into Batman Forever right now. You only live once. Who knows what I'm going to collect, but this was a must. I had to get the remaining three. You have the holes in the heel, and just slip that right in. Kind of twist it in, and he should stand pretty good. Next we have Two-Face Harvey Dent, who was my third, and the first actual Wayne of the Bat that I came across. I saw a total of 2 Harvey Dents at 2 different GameStops. Passed on him the first time. Funny story is, Robin was there. All of these were at one store at one point. And I passed on all 4 of them. I was collecting Batman the Animated Series at the time. Had kind of a aha moment on Labor Day. Came across Batman, did the review, and then the rest is history. We'll open up Harvey next. Okay, so just something to keep in mind, and I'm sure that we're going to run into this with Robin. The Batwing is actually connected. Everything else was inside this first. So we're going to slide him out and just leave the Batwing in there. Yeah, it's so big that, you know, this kind of had its own packaging. I mean, look at the size of that Batwing. So yeah, we got Harvey here, and it does come with. I like how he's got, you know, the fingerless gloves on one hand, you know, on the bad side, and then he's got his coin right here, and then just another hand where there's no coin, kind of the end of the movie. Tommy Lee Jones as Two-Face. A lot of people, I remember back in '95, people said he could have played a good Joker, and you know, the character that he did was almost like Joker-esque. On the back is identical. Under the description here of what we just read with the Riddler, Batman faces off literally against 2 foes, Two-Face and the Riddler. Data file, Two-Face's real name, Harvey Dent. Look at my hand and look at this Wayne. This, you know, around that Halloween season, like this actually might just show up in another room for a little bit. Another reason why I kind of expedited, I mean, look at his arm. This is massive. I don't know a lot about the collectibles, but this has got to be one of the biggest ones. And there he is, Harvey Dent, Tommy Lee Jones as the one and only Two-Face. During the movie, and I pointed out to Kelly, I said, look at his ear. Like, I mean, what a great costume. Tommy Lee Jones, you know, the whole cast, you know, in the 90s, and then you throw in Nicole Kidman. You know, it kind of started the trend for that, you know, those couple of movies of casting, you know, the biggest stars in the Batman movie, kind of going away from, you know, the darkness Batman and more kind of, you know, back in the Adam West Ward days, but with, you know, big stars. And, you know, that's what Batman was in the 90s, late 90s. You do get a little bit of play here with the bottom of his coat. He does move around here, but with this jacket on, he's not going to be as flexible as Jim Carrey over there. There he is flipping his coin. Can't make a decision without flipping that coin. That's Two-Face. The knees nice and stiff. The feet, so you can see the toes will curl up. Does have the hole in his heel, will fit right on this stand perfectly. It's just amazing how far they've come with action figures. Kind of had a hard time getting Harv to stand up straight. That's the best I can do. Kind of the sleek little bend move here. So they kind of look like baseball players at bat with one leg kind of leading out. So that might be his ultimate stance. We have, what do I have a story about? Chris O'Donnell Robin. He's our last Robin, and I have been looking forward to unboxing him. I actually had to buy him from eBay. I could not find him at a store. Kind of kicked around the idea of buying online from GameStop because I found these guys in a store. And eventually GameStop sells out. Now they may restock again. I may end up going to a GameStop. I've kind of stated this in the past that, you know, you go in there and you find something, you know, you least expect to find. And I'm sure I'll come across Robin again, but I just couldn't wait any longer. I had to get him. Now I'm going to be careful because I kind of learned our lesson from Two-Face that Batwing is, you know, separate here. So got to be careful pulling him out. Of course, you know, when you do something once, you figure it out the second time. I guess you just take the whole thing out and then it just comes apart a little bit easier. And I guess I didn't think of that the first go around. Chris O'Donnell as Robin, the Boy Wonder, Batman Forever. You know, right on the verge of becoming Nightwing, like, you know, kind of an older Robin. I did tell Kelly when we were watching, I go, I guess in the comics, Robin would have been like 12 or 13. I mean, he was practically probably 17, 18 maybe, in the movie. But this was the first time. Like, you wanted Robin. I wanted Robin so bad in Batman 89, and then Batman Returns comes out, and there's no Robin. We finally get him for Batman Forever. And it's Chris O'Donnell. Same, description here as the last couple of cards, the data file. Robin, Batman Forever, real name, Dick Grayson. Before we take Robin out, I want to point out that the cape, not only does it stick through behind the packaging, but there are wires in here, and you can bend it. Batman's cape was completely loose. There's no wires like there is with Robin. And I know a lot of people kind of complained about that. They were hoping to have the same style as, I mean, that's pretty cool. Pretty cool feature to do. Might be a little bit of an issue when we try to stand him up, kind of like Harv. He has tipped over. It's kind of, Two-Face. He's being difficult. And just like the Batwing from Two-Face, it's just as big from Robin. We got them all out. We're almost there. Like, I'm at the two most exciting parts for me is going over Robin and then, of course, assembling the Nightmare Bat. Now, Robin comes with two different sets of hands and an open palm. Him pointing, kind of like he's, the whole vendetta against Two-Face, the whole movie. You could just imagine him pointing, I'm gonna get you, Harv. And then two fists. I haven't shown any character really coming out. They're packed in there very well, and I want to show Robin because of the whole cape situation. So once we bend the heck out of them, we'll just slide that cape right through here. So just kind of be careful because there are wires in that cape. Yeah, that is tight packaging. Look at his cape, a tight packaging. Holy cow. A couple of things about the Robin suit. I'm going to, I don't want to knock, like I shorted the Riddler or Two-Face, but I'm just such a Robin fan, Nightwing, that I just want to focus on a little bit. It's kind of like the Tim Drake Robin, where, early 90s we get the long sleeves, you get the pants, and then, the whole movie portion comes in where he's wearing black boots, the black gloves, and of course, the gauntlets, with the just like what Batman has on the end. Something that I saw before revisiting the movie was in the logo, usually it's black behind the R. It is in fact green, just like the movie. So, they nailed exactly how Robin looked in Batman Forever. The plastic keeping down the cape. Robin does have a big mask. You don't see this. Usually, when we get Robin, he has a mask very similar to how Jim Carrey over here portraying the Riddler, a lot skinnier. But yeah, they have a very big mask. And I thought this was a Bat logo for a second. It is a Robin. Hollywood kind of has their say in this. But for the most part, it's very similar to that early 90s Tim Drake Robin. As much as I wanted Robin in Batman Returns, it was so disappointing. We get him for Batman Forever, but we have a new Batman. We have Val Kilmer. At the time, going back to 95, I couldn't enjoy this for what it was. I wanted Michael Keaton. Like, I think all of us wanted Keaton, and 29 years later, I can finally go to the movie and enjoy this for what it was. And it was a entertaining take on Batman and Robin. And at the end of the day, I think Val Kilmer did a great job as Batman. In fact, my buddy It's Me Evan told me that Val Kilmer was Bob Kane, the creator of Batman, his first choice to play the Caped Crusader. And, I don't really want to leave Batman out of this. We did the review on him, but he looks the part. Also stands a lot better than Two-Face. Jim Carrey, it's Ace Ventura, the mask, as the Riddler. I mean, you get that classic 90s Jim Carrey, and At the time, you're a kid. You don't want the Batcave getting blown up. You don't want the Batmobile getting blown up. But, as an adult now, to sit back and just enjoy it was great. I'm so glad that I went and saw this at the theater. Like, just appreciated it for what it was and not take, superhero movies so serious. Like, the letdowns. I mean, it's a superhero movie. You just got to check out and just enjoy it. Tommy Lee Jones, so big in the 90s. Think about the movies he was in. The Fugitive, Men in Black. To take on this role, none of these guys were afraid of being typecasted. They all performed. And it was really enjoyable watching this. I mean, I got to be honest with you. And I'm glad I watched it before I decided to do an unboxing review on the rest of these figures. And I kept saying what I wanted to do is when you're watching The Fugitive, and he's chasing down Harrison Ford, before Harrison Ford leaps out into the river or this lake, he turns around at Tommy Lee Jones and says, "I didn't kill my wife." Tommy Lee Jones holds his hands up. He says, "I don't care." All we're missing is Alfred. Maybe they'll have a bonus Nicole Kidman. I haven't decided about the Batmobile. Interesting thing here regarding Robin. He is the only actor in any live-action Batman to ever, Chris O'Donnell, ever drive the Batmobile. Any other Batman, it was just shots. They never physically drove it. Robin, kind of a fun fact, only one to ever drive it. And the moment we've all been waiting for, putting together the Nightmare Bat. We saw bits and pieces in Batman Forever when Bruce kind of has a flashback of his parents' funeral and falls down into the cave and a bat's coming his way. That has to be part of the Nightmare Bat. There's parts when, after they blow up the Batcave, he's out. I imagine that is the deleted scene, that we don't get to see this. And hopefully, down the road, that will be available, you'd think. This would have been a good time to show it now, 85 years of Batman, but they're holding on to this. At least we can put this together, and I think this is the most exciting part. I think the head before the Waynes is probably the best bet, just so we have, the body. If we really have to give it some force to get the head in, which, look at this, you can move the mouth open, and since he's going to lay this way, the bat's coming. This is going to be great. We're just going to push him in. There we go. Look at this. Just picture the bat it's coming right at you. Let's just say that his right arm was Two-Face, and we'll just pop him right in. Again, a little bit of force. And there it is. So it's not going to move around. So you move it a little bit, he'll come right out. So this is kind of locked into position. That's it. So, man, this is cool. I just, for a second there, who's that, Man-Bat from Batman the Animated Series? Just, wow, look at the size of this. I mean, that's just one Wayne. Look at the head does turn around. You can move it. This moves. I didn't notice that, so I'm guessing that it was pointed down before. It looks a little bit different here. Maybe it was all the way up. I can't tell you how excited I am to be forming this bat. I never thought I was going to be doing this. There we go. It looks like his arm's a little bit higher. Maybe it's because the head's kind of cocked. Okay, you can move the arm a little. There is some play here. So yeah, you can kind of go all the way here. Yeah, he'll move. I was wrong. I kind of like that. It's kind of like the Bat logo. Of course, why wouldn't he be? It's Batman, right? I mean, he's wider than all the characters, even the boxes. Look at it. We have all 4 boxes right there. Look at the real estate. The feet, the hole for the stand. I was just thinking that if it took batteries, like you could light up the eyes, like how cool would that have been? Man, this is awesome. I don't know. This is so worth it. The hunt for getting all these, the the purchase on eBay to have the bat. Might have to take the pole out. We'll see if I can just give it a little bit of pressure. There we go. And he will kind of swivel. Oh my gosh, look at that. What a stand. Perfect. And yeah, you can kind of give him a good lean. If he's not going to balance well, you can kind of move him around. Oh my gosh. He's coming right at you. You could put him anywhere. He's going to knock somebody over. They knew what they were doing with this. Like, this is perfect. Now, this is a little soft surface. I mean, there's a blanket here. I don't really want to knock, how hard it was to kind of balance out Harvey. On a harder surface, I think it's going to be fine. But you can see he's doing pretty good. Just think the bat just needs his own kind of screen time here, his own finish. His arms are a little not even. I'm going to get kind of OCD trying to figure this out, but even if he's not perfect, he's still going to balance pretty good. Just depending on where you line up the shoulders. There, that looks a little bit better. Kind of open him up. The mouth. He's kind of flying diagonally. Wow. This is by far the best collectible yet. I don't know if there's going to be anything that's ever going to top this. High expectations I had on this came through. I couldn't be happier with it. This really kind of pushes me to want to get the Batmobile. Like, you might have to get the whole thing. I mean, this movie, it means so much more to me than just recently seeing it. There's a story behind it that I haven't really gotten into. It goes back to '95. But, for what it was worth, it's a fun take on Batman. And, I think they nailed it. And McFarlane nailed this. Thanks for watching, guys. I think it's the most underrated Batman movie. Dare I say, I'm going to say it. This movie, I think it deserves a little bit more credit. And it's taken me this long, 29 years, to kind of give it that recognition. Getting over the fact that, there's other actors that can play roles. And Val Kilmer was a great Batman. Chris O'Donnell was a great Robin. Tommy Lee Jones, phenomenal as Two-Face. And Jim Carrey, I don't know if anyone could have pulled that off in the time, in '95. For what it is, holds up kind of today in standards. It's a little on the cheesy side, but it's a fun movie. You can just kind of forget about life.